we
that.
cannot get
That's what I
if we cannot get
disagree
an
with.
external mind, something that's
Yeah.
external to the mind to prove it, then it just
Okay,
doesn't
so
exist.
I'm going to
The fact
contend.
doesn't exist on it.
Okay, so I'll start with contending moral relativism, then I can prove that.
I mean, they're all like kind of corresponding, I guess, in this context.
Yeah. So I'll just start with moral relativism because I think it's the easiest one to attack.
Alright.
Okay. So like something a moral relativist would say is like moral realism is wrong, right? Since there are various forms of morality and culture around the world, like two different, like as you just gave me an example of, we have two different subjective minds outputting different external moral actions, right? So, but this, however, doesn't prove moral realism is wrong. Like for the exact same reason, multiple competing scientific theories don't entail that science is subjective. This only shows us that humans are not perfect at understanding and have flaws in their autonomy. For example, some cultures, such as the Middle East, kill women because they believe they have no soul. There's no reason to subject this as true, and it is obvious that humans either have souls or they don't have any at all. There's no reasoning to believe women specifically don't have souls. And here, the difference in morality is only because of flaw in the way of their thinking, and a flaw in their autonomy. And that doesn't change the fact that these like moral truths would be true even if no one believed them. So let me.
So here's the issue I have with this. So when I was taking moral relativism, which not really, but I was like taking
but you're using a lot of them.
So it's basically because like relativism does not mean like cultural relativism does not mean that like morals are true relative to the culture. That's not what it means. It's just that morals are believed from various cultures and people and religions and everything like that to be true. They're believed to be true, but they don't have any truth value. So because obviously if anything is not objective, they don't have truth value. So the people in Arabia, like or whatever that is, Middle Eastern, they kill women because they have no soul. At least they say that. So like, if we're gonna take this in a like ethical perspective, so we're just gonna say if killing women is wrong based on that justification. So obviously, me, you, and everyone else, I hope so, like are gonna believe that that's wrong, killing women. But that does not give us any reason to believe that that's actually objectively true that it's wrong to kill a woman, because. And obviously in Arabia, we might think they have a flawed like reasoning or like flawed justification to prove that killing women is right. They would also think the same thing about us. So like it's right to them, right?
So I brought this up earlier. I think like moral progressiveness. Like I said, like just as like there can be like multiple competing scientific theory, right? All of these scientific theory are going towards determining the truth behind, like, for example, the law, or like the explanation of this truth we know happens. And so many of them may be wrong. They may be wrong for a while. We may believe one is true while they are wrong, right? Or this one may be half right or completely right, but we don't know it yet, right? And so there is this progression towards the truth in scientific theorem.
Right. But
without the same to be said for like moral progression, like for example, I don't know how long it was. I'd like to say like 100 years or so ago. Like in the U.S., discrimination against blacks was completely morally accepted. Before then, slavery was completely morally accepted, and they progressed as humans to believe that okay, well this is actually wrong. We should not do this. This is objectively wrong to do this to people. So there are these moral progressions, and just the scientific progressions they're progressing towards the truth. Doesn't mean we're at the truth right now, obviously, since humans aren't perfect. These things are getting closer to it.
Right. Even though I took like that viewpoint on moral relativism, that I don't really believe that. What I'm trying to tell you, I guess, because like you probably misinterpreted that, but what I'm trying to tell you is that nothing is true or wrong. So you might believe that slavery is wrong, like morally, objectively, obviously. And other people in America, like 100 years ago, used to believe that slavery was right, objectively. Obviously, that fact, or whatever it was, like it was a temporary fact, obviously turned out to not be objective because some people think different and other people.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a.
You could say, you could say like people could be wrong when they think of it. So it could be objective still, but that doesn't really matter since I'm not trying to argue whether something is true or not. I'm just saying that they don't have any ethical sentence. We cannot craft any framework, any objective framework to prove that they're objectively either wrong or right. So they don't have true value because even though they also don't have moral properties, but they're not really like, they don't have true value objectively, at least only subjectively, which I'm trying to argue.
Okay. So you're saying like moral properties don't exist naturally; they don't exist intrinsically.
Moral properties,
Yeah,
such as
yeah,
what, like
I don't.
self-preservation instinct.
Well, no, I'm just wondering what's your
Well, I do believe
what exactly you're trying to go.
self-preservation instinct
I think that was a little vague, you know.
intrinsically. I
Yeah.
don't really think as objectively intrinsically, because people could be born like. Do you think you can have morals without minds or like sentient beings?
I
Or
think
like
there are
without people at least, intelligent beings. I mean,
No,
we cannot have morals.
I think we
right?
could.
Oh, you think we could?
Yeah, I think that morals can be external. I can bring up an argument for that.
Alright, so let's say in a hypothetical universe we don't exist. Any intelligent being don't exist. Only like bacteria and like retarded
Well, like,
beings exist. How would morality
that's
be
the same. Like, okay, well, so if I just have to prove morality is external in the same way, like numbers would still exist as they are necessary throughout all possible worlds, and you can just say, okay,
How
well
are
then,
facts necessary?
well, why do numbers matter? Why are these facts if we can't use them in mathematical equations? If these are obviously naturally or intrinsically occurring things. And so, like, I guess, like, as you were going
Yeah, they're
into it,
still
all
there,
that-
but I don't think the same could be applied to morality.
Okay, that's fine. So, like, the thing is, if I were to prove or give you reasoning to believe, like, morality is external to the mind, then that wouldn't be a proposition against it.
Okay, so if they could exist without the human mind, can you explain to me how, like, let's say two possible worlds. One possible world, we are driven completely different. We all dumb, evolution didn't succeed, stuff like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
like something that's possible. We have sentience, but we don't have any experience or anything to like determine the what's it called. My brain floated. But yeah, we don't have any experience or anything to determine like the fact or the objective like ethical sentience, right? So how like let's say in the actual world, like right now, we do know or like we do believe, I guess, that killing people is wrong and it does have true values is objective or something like that. That's just an example. How could we like prove the same in the other possible world where like sentient beings don't really exist?
Okay.
Or
Well,
like
then,
at least
you just said
intelligent
this
beings
is
don't exist.
objective, right? Then if something is objectively...
No, I'm not saying it's objective. We just
external.
believe, or like people believe it to be objective.
Okay, well then if it's external to the human mind, then it isn't reliant on sentient contingent beings.
Yeah, but when I'm asking like if it's external, not to the human mind, I mean to the sentient mind, or anything that's sentient. What would determine the fact? How would we be able to? I'm not saying comprehend because we don't need to comprehend or like understand which one is better. I'm just asking what framework can we craft in order to like to determine like the objective fact or like the essence of it if we don't understand what it is.
Well, like if there are no sentient beings, then we can't say this is right or wrong. There is no fundamental principle to base it off of if there is nothing to know this. Like the same thing can be said for like science. If there are no sentient beings such as humans that like go upon to learning about the crafts of science and things like this that do universally exist, then you wouldn't say science or physics don't exist in those possible worlds. They're just humans. There wouldn't. What?
No,
there wouldn't be any like perception of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. If there aren't sentient beings, then there's no perception of morality. That doesn't necessarily mean or doesn't necessarily follow that these things still wouldn't exist.
Can I have since you're like premise, like the main argument for moral realism is basically believing that something external to the mind is a fact, like what's it called? Epistemic fact. Can you give me an analogy of any epistemic fact that's not like that is external to the human mind?
Sure.
Like
I'd have to.
not really a temporary fact, obviously, because if they change through time, then they're not really objective facts.
Okay. So you want what an epistemic fact?
Epistemic fact is like external to the human mind. That we did not
like,
decide
you
upon.
know, like what I'm guessing.
But it doesn't
like,
have to do with
what?
sentient beings. Like, you know,
Okay, so
self-preservation
like,
instinct has to do with sentient beings.
Yeah.
You know, so
So you know what like epistemology is, right?
yeah, it's the study of knowledge.
The study of like truth. Well then, like we know the truth is that like we know like the universe is expanding is a truth, right? That is an
Epistemic.
Oh my god, a whole epistemic fucking fact. God damn. We know that is an epistemic fact. So we know it's a truth that the universe is expanding physically, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's external to the human's mind.
Sure. Okay, but okay, since that doesn't have to do with humans and stuff, an objective fact has to be like completely true, right? Not bound by the human mind. It has to be true even without our presence, right? An epistemic fact. Okay. I'm just gonna use the evil demon argument. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, which can happen. I'm just saying, so basically there could be a demon that is like powerful enough to control us and put us in an illusions to the point where we don't even know if we physically, or materialistically, or materialistically, I don't know how you say that, exist. But ideally, obviously, because cogito ergo sum.
Yeah.
But universe is like material, mostly, I guess, like even in the essence of it, except like the concepts and stuff about stuff we can only imagine, which is obviously just only ideal, so it doesn't really apply. But the universe expanding is actually a material fact, to which can also be an illusion. So I'm not saying it is an illusion. I'm just saying there could be even the slightest chance, as long as it's not impossible. There could be impossible. There could be the slightest chance, like 0.001 or whatever percentage, that we actually are in an illusion right now. So that could not be really regarded as a fact, because
Okay, so like you're arguing like these things like there's like this small possibility, but then I can just say, for example, that moral rightness of actions does not consist to their being desired or their being objective to certain belief,
we're at
right?
the point of
Like,
the epistemic fact.
Yeah, so I'm getting into that. So like the conceiving of like moral realism, like in terms of like irreducibility, extends to like a reasonable degree that the conception which understands moral realism in terms of like mind independence. So like on the first mentioned conception,
I didn't get it.
right? Okay, like that moral, like for example, like moral righteousness of actions does not consist with their being desired or their being objects of certain beliefs. I'm getting into that because there's like once I get into that, so this will not only answer your current questions, it'll actually get into like questions you haven't asked. Okay, so like the conceiving of moral realism in terms of like irreducibility extends to a reasonable degree, right? The conception which understands moral realism in terms of mind independence. So moral properties, right, are irreducible and hence not identical with any non-moral properties.
Yeah.
And this implies that moral properties are mind independent in the sense that they are not identical with non-moral properties that pertain to the mind. So it should be stressed that even if objects have moral properties, in virtue of having non-moral properties that pertain to the mind, that moral properties themselves are mind independent in a certain sense. The reason is, again, if like objects have moral properties, in virtue of having non-moral properties, moral properties should not be identical or are not objectively identical with such properties. Like this means that these like moral properties, I guess you could say, are in fact external to the mind. So even if, like with your example with the possible worlds, if these sentient beings did not exist as they are external to these sentient beings' minds, in this case these sentient beings in our world, in our actual world, with humans, then it would be true for every other possible world.
before I move on to like refutation, like, have you like dropped the
Yeah.
point of epistemic fact, or like, because like you're taking a different kind of perspective right now. You're talking
No,
about
I'm just going into like how it's like. No, I actually didn't I give you
no. I asked you
an
like
example?
with the evil demon argument. In addition to that, I asked you like how could an epistemic fact that is immaterial exist external to the
Oh
human
no,
mind?
I think you said like an epistemic fact that like is external to the human mind, and I gave you one.
Yeah, and you gave me one, but I used the evil demon argument, and I said like
Oh, I
it has
didn't.
to be
Did
something immaterial.
Oh, something. Why does that have to be something immaterial?
Because of the evil demon argument basically says that we could be, there's a slight possibility that we could be in an illusion right now. So the only thing that would actually be true is our minds, I guess, because of I think therefore I am.
Like, what reason do I have to like believe that?
I'm not saying I'm not saying that's the case. Because like I
Okay.
said it before, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying there's a slight possibility that that could actually happen. So we don't need
Yeah,
to neglect it. So we cannot neglect that because an objective fact needs to be like 100% like a truth, an objective truth.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm
so
arguing,
you're
it's not that
saying-
it's false.
I mean, if
it's
this-
just
if
that
this- if
it doesn't have truth value. That's what I'm arguing, basically. It
What,
cannot
that-
be true
that-
or false.
The moral properties.
Any objective fact, anything that's supposed to be an objective fact. My bad, because I kind of.
Okay. So if you're saying it has physical properties, then because there's a slight like a minuscule possibility that everything is an illusion, that they wouldn't be necessarily true, and only our mind is.
Yeah, only our
Well,
mind.
then,
is
if
actually
there
the-
is a slight minuscule possibility, can this be the truth in some possible world? Sure. I don't really see how this pertains to the argument when
Wait, I mean,
I'm arguing this in like the
necessary-
actual world.
But the fact, the epistemic fact, or any kind of objective fact is supposed to be necessary, so it cannot really only like exist in some possible worlds. Like as to being contingent, it cannot actually be.
Yeah, we're being
So if something is objective and exists in every single possible world, I'm just arguing that basically there's a possible world, because like it's not impossible metaphysically or logically. So there is a possible world where we live in an illusion. We're being put in an illusion from a demon, from an evil demon, which he like we're just all delusional or skeptic about everything that we own materially or
Okay.
except our
Well,
mind.
then that doesn't like contend the fact that there are like epistemic facts, right? Because like
I mean,
we know
okay,
like the
I'm
law,
just
these like
telling you why it
universal
does.
laws would apply, like these necessary laws.
Okay, I'm
that
gonna
are
just tell you why.
epistemic
It
facts.
is. So
Okay.
the universe might be expanding, but in a possible world, it will not be expanding. It will be something completely different. Probably never. I mean, not probably, but yeah, something that we've never seen before. Because as soon as we're born, we're being put in an illusion from an evil demon. So we don't
But
even
what
know
does that
if
have to
anything
do
is
with-
true. Okay, so
But
you
then-
said the universe is expanding is an epistemic fact. So it has to be necessary and exist in every single possible world. I'm just saying
Yeah,
we're being put in an
it's
illusion.
universal.
So in a
Mhm.
possible world, I'm talking about a possible world.
Okay.
The universe expanding could just be an illusion. It could not be the true thing. We could just be like hallucinating stuff. So it would actually not be expanding. Therefore, there exists one possible world where the universe does not expand.
Okay. So the thing is with that this is based off like the perception of like, okay, well, the humans don't have the perception of this expanding universe, right? But since these things are necessary, then the devil or the demon would not change the fact that the universe is expanding.
No,
It
wait.
would change our
That's not my
perception
point.
of it expanding or not. Well, if that's not your point, then I don't see the relevance.
Okay, no. Okay, well, my point is, let me explain. So,
Okay.
I'm not saying the universe is a thing and we're being put in an illusion to believe that something else is instead of universe expanding. I'm just saying like us seeing the universe expand could possibly not be true. Because, there's an evil demon who there could be something different. Like we could be living in something completely different that our mind cannot comprehend because
Okay,
we've never
okay.
seen it before. So the
So you're
universe
saying
would just
in
be
a-
an illusion, like the universe expansion, the universe itself.
So not like it would be like our perception of the universe would be an illusion.
no, the universe itself will be an illusion, and we would perceive it as true, but it's not true. Our perception of it will be actually correct, but the whole thing is not true. I don't know.
So are you saying
you can ask me questions about this?
So okay, yeah.
Clear,
So would you be saying like, okay, so you're saying like the universe is different. We perceive it the same. Then we perceive it as true, but the universe in itself, in actuality, is different. Well, then like,
it could be different.
Why does this devil or demon have the power to change necessary truth?
Because it's a hypothetical universe, so it could be like something that's.
Well, yeah, there's hypothetical universes, but like, I'll give you an example with like God, right? There is this maximally great being that is necessary in one possible world. Obviously, then he's necessary in all. So this demon, since it's like something that is necessary, like for example, numbers or etc., will not be able to change by this demon.
Sure.
These things, yeah. So this
I don't see how
demon
we
is
can
able
prove
to change necessary things like the universe. But
okay,
it
so
can change how like obviously can change things.
Okay, but well, a fact, like the fact that you're trying to prove, obviously, is not just a random fact that's necessary. It's a fact where the propositions of it actually assume its properties and are completely like relevant and objective. Like a moral fact is not only something like that's true. It's something like any ethical proposition that's supposed to be objective and external to the human mind, whether we believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how this correlates. Like I don't see how this corresponds or correlates or whatever with moral facts, because moral facts don't really exist. They're not really objective.
Okay, but okay. So I give you multiple like arguments for them, for moral properties existing, and like your main argument against it would be like if in a possible world that if they're not external and they're internal, then like and since beings are contingent or like sentient beings are contingent, then in a possible world where like any sentient being does not exist and moral properties wouldn't exist either. But then I've also argued and given you proof that you have yet to rebuttal that that moral properties are in fact external to a sentient mind.
Okay, but so if I want to take like a viewpoint, like a non-cognitivist viewpoint, basically those moral properties, they would just be like revealing what we have inside of us that we actually desire. Like I guess you could say the ethical sentence or like the moral properties that are in the sentence are actually just no, I mean the propositions are actually just a preference.
What do you mean by like we desire? Are you saying we all have?
Yeah, so it's like a preference. If we say killing people is wrong, we prefer that to be the case. We prefer to like killing people is wrong because we want a peaceful life.
So
you know? But that does not mean that it's actually true objectively. It's just that we prefer, like it's a preference rather than a proposition.
Okay. So again, like I've kind of like, do you think we can just get into conclusions?
Sure.
Okay. Well, okay. So do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay. So as you've just mentioned, I feel like I already countered to that. You said, can you repeat what you said real quick?
Wait.
Just so I don't miss anything.
Non-cognitive is basically not having true value. Like.
Okay, yeah.
Just prefer it. It's like a preference.
We prefer. Okay, well, I've already like argued against this with like epistemic fact. I was also able to prove, as he did not contend, that's like moral properties are external. I proved that, and I've yet to see contention to it. And then I was also able to argue against like the possible roles proposition. Evidently, because of that, then moral properties should exist, regardless of like the perception of sentient beings. I also was able to contend, basically debunk the moral relativist view, and that's when we got into the possible worlds argument. And I think it was very back and forth since then, and I was able to further elaborate and prove my point that moral properties do exist, and since they are external to humans or like the sentient beings, then they should exist objectively.
Alright. Alright, so I think his main point, because I was taking I guess a nihilist perspective towards moral properties. His point was that epistemic. Yeah, my bad. Saying there and take. I don't want to say, but yeah, like there's a fact that there's a fact that correlates to actually a moral fact, like an epistemic fact that correlates to the moral fact. He was trying to like make them like corresponded to each other. By arguing that basically anything that's true should also apply to the same moral like ethical sentences. So, and I disproved to him by taking a non-cognitivist position that's saying that everything like that has to do with moral or like morality does not have to be a proposition, but it actually is preference. We just like to like desire for it to be a proposition because we don't want it to happen that way. However, he cannot really he failed to like make them correlate to each other, like any fact with a moral fact. Therefore, I think I debunked that moral fact do not exist, and that anything that we choose to believe is only true within our subjective mind. So therefore, they don't really have any true value. That's my conclusion.
Okay. So can we get like the verdicts of the judges?
Yeah, also, Lucifer, slide me the recording, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, am I unmuted now?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Sunday, do you want to go first? Do you want to go first? Get Sunday unmuted.
Yeah, I got him unmuted. He's local. He said go first.
Oh yeah, Tiger.
Personally, I think Sunday will do a little bit better. I think Sunday will do it. They will do it better in depth than me. So that's why I'm asking Sunday to like unmute. You fucking loser. Because I'm about to just.
Bro, take it.
He said I got a piss, bro.
I really got a
Go. Okay.
I'm just tired.
I got this. Okay. Yeah. So I think both sides put up pretty good arguments. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but Parrot won. So it was pretty.
Parrot is the best debate.
I was thinking like for like the first like 3 points, I was like, man, I think Richard might have this. And then I was like, no, wait, the other dude might have it. And then I was like, no. At the end of it, I was like, yep, Parrot won. Yeah, it's kind of tough. How that happens.
I think Naya won, bro.
No, on the real though, Richard, you were making a little bit of like some weird arguments. I'm not gonna lie. But I think personally, I think I might have to give this a day. Honestly. But to be honest, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was cutting in and out, and I did have to leave because at one point where I couldn't both. I thought you guys like both went on silent or something like that, or Sunday like muted you or something like that. So I did leave during it. And plus, I didn't show up for the first part of the debate that you guys were having. I joined a little bit
Can we get Sunday's verdict?
I don't feel like my judgment is probably the best. So basically, I'm saying that I would say take judgment over
Yo, is he lagging for me?
bits and pieces that I heard and that I was able to like clearly make out. They're like, oh, did I lag out?
I could hear you. It's just probably like you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I probably would have to give it to Daniel, but I mean, like I said, I did leave like mid-debate, so I guess I feel like that my judgment would be invalid. So, more importantly, I feel like then they would give a better judgment than me.
Okay.
Okay, I can go. In the beginning, it was pretty like
But
Daniel started
the real judgment still is that Parrot won. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough when Parrot just wins a debate out of nowhere. It's no reasoning.
Alright, in the beginning, you guys were like going back and forth. You guys were like, then Daniel like took control for most of it. Then like Richard like turned it around. Like Richard won high diff.
Man, Daniel's good. What the fuck?
I mean, you guys,
Yeah.
I thought this nigga's like
you
trash.
guys
but
both
nah.
made some like wonky arguments.
Yo, I wouldn't say
I don't know
logically
why-
good,
I don't know
bro.
why you let Richard use
Yeah, that's why-
medical argument.
That's why I gave it to Daniel.
I said logically good, bro. I'm so retarded.
Richard, you should have pulled out Richard, you should have just pulled out epistemic.
Don't ever say that. It's not real. It's not
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
never
just
say
took
that
it as
stupid shit
granted
again.
'cause he said that, so I was like, okay, sure, epistemic. Fine, let's go.
Nah, Richard, you should have said you should have started pulling out epistemic humility. And that would have been funny as shit to listen to. You should have just be like, yeah, I don't know. Epistemology's right. I don't know if we have all the knowledge to say that epistemology's right. What? It's right.
I think that's pretty good.
Thanks, Richard. You too. I think that was pretty good for like my first debate on morality.
Yo,
Right, your first? Yeah, you definitely didn't like.
Oh God, that was your first?
Yeah.
Damn, he did
Nigga
it
said
better
my
than me. on my
first, and he
first.
was like, yeah, like if like, compared to my first or like Tigger's first or something.
Yeah, you
It was violent.
like,
Let's talk about my first YFT debate. I beat fucking, who was it? Grace? I don't know. Probably Grace.
Daniel,
That was your second,
You might
bro.
have lost.
First
but
you beat me.
You're really, really good. Like, you're really good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. No hard feelings.
Thanks.
What's the answer?
No, yeah, that was a good debate.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wait,
when
there's,
I see people win, they like spread out on me, so I like prepare myself like 8 back. You know?
Yo, Sunday. Logically good, bro.
Logic.
Well,
Uh,
Logically
wait,
good, bro.
Zeke's Edge. Did you guys who got the recording again?
I think Lucifer.
Richard, logic doesn't exist. It's bound by the mind, so it's a
Facts. Nah, bro, we discovered logic, bro. We didn't create it.
What's
we
the
discovered it
answer,
and we
Dave?
found out that it's
Wait, okay. Where do you guys think I should like have my role at?
Champions. I gave it to you. Nigga, why you?
What?
You took his Spartan away. Like,
You should be champion, to be honest.
yeah, I gave you champions. Like, why you being so like, stupid and gave yourself Spartans?
Bro, because I don't think I'm champion level. I think I deserve.
You
Stop
are.
giving
I mean,
yourself
most of the
there,
TikTok
like,
platforms
if they ask
really
you-
aren't that good.
If they ask you like, yo, why you use it there? Just don't say that you put yourself there. We did.
What is champions? Like, what is that?
That's like the second highest.
Okay,
one.
okay, Richard, bro, just give me master, okay?
Nah.
Give me like a week. Give me like a week for
No.
I'm
No.
Hold
We can have
on. Wait.
champions.
Wait. You said champions the highest, bro.
Not the second
No.
highest.
What's the first?
a legendary.
Yeah, let me
All I
give you
see
a
is-
legendary.
All I see is champions, masters, Spartans, elite, talented, proficient.
Yeah, legendary is arrow. So like,
Yo, why are so many people in the league? What the fuck?
I don't
Where?
know why I'm fucking Spartan. Oh.
you're masters.
You think? Never mind.
Uh,
I should be champion to go on. What the feet? What stance did you
Yo,
take?
Sandy, do you want me to teach you Masada verse, bro?
Richard?
I've loved you too, Richard. I've been trying to scale it for years. I don't know.
What's
I don't know
that?
what it is.
Yo, Richard, bro, I'm getting Richard, bro, I'm quitting fiction for like a month, and I'm just like grinding.
I quit fiction too, but like, I didn't know that fiction actually does make you better.
So, yeah, fiction.
Like, Sunday does fiction and he's like the best debater, bro.
What, Richard? I started off as IRL.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like, back in the parrot days, he used to speak your fate. I don't know how you started. I don't
I
know.
still do.
Yeah, but like, you started at fate. You didn't start IRL.
Now
did
I
you?
started Fate since like I was like both, Richard. I would like scale Fate like 2000, the old days.
What did you do in IRL? Like, ethics?
Ethics, philosophy, veganism, worship.
Was it like a meta like this? Like, cause like if in like 2017, like people were kind of like more dumb. Everyone.
Yeah. Even
So like imagine someone
Iron
from
debaters
now.
aren't good now. Still true.
Yeah, but like still definitely better than like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, more.
I've been trying to debate them.
I was hoping
Me too.
to fucking debate them finals, the fucking tournament.
Yeah, Richard, bro,
Like,
I'm getting trained. I'm getting a trainer
Haiku?
from fucking haiku. Yeah.
I got trained by
I'm
haiku
challenged
too
every
about
single month.
theology. I actually did this like twice, but it was with D1 and I got slapped, and then I did it with like I don't even know who, but I don't think I won that one. I didn't do subject. Actually, I did it with Gios and I won.
Yo, if you lose to
You beat
Edmonton,
Gios?
I swear to God,
If I do what?
don't lose to
You beat
Edmonton.
Gios?
Nah, I beat him like a month ago or two, but he also beat me.
Okay, do not lose to Edmund. I swear to God, Richard.
I don't know, bro. Edmund kind of goated. He beat Finger. But yeah, I can't believe like, when I let myself speak without thinking about what I say, I just say retarded shit, like logically good. I gotta take. Oh, he just left. This nigga really just dipped.
Oh, damn.
Yo, think I want to speakless people to general chat? Is it they cannot
you want
speak in here? Yeah, let's speak this.
Yeah, let's just put them in general. Wait, Richard.
Bro, y'all done with
We were debating,
it?
nigga.
Wait,
We
Richard,
were
Richard,
debating.
bro.
Okay.
Richard, where do you think I should be in Raguzan? Like in Matt Roll's system?
Gen of Miracles.
Wait, Daniel, I actually think you should stick with IRL because you're just bad at fiction.
They lowered it. Shut your bitch ass up, bro.
Shinji, you're retarded.
No, they lowered the.
Wait, Daniel, you
They
want to
lowered the
debate me a fictional
standards.
topic, bro? Daniel, you want to debate me a fictional topic, bro?
Sure. Not right now, though.
Fuck that nigga.
Damn,
Yeah,
Raguzan
they lowered the standards. Bro, don't be
They
shit.
did, bro.
You can like load the. But yeah, they lowered the standards in Rakuzan as soon as like TikTok niggas joined. They lowered it by a
They
good
put it
part.
back to where it used to be. Wait,
Daniel, I actually think
no
I'll break
jokes.
a
Like,
fictional topic.
objectively, where do you think I should be at, Richard? Like, no trolling.
Champions, I'm not trolling.
Champions.
I'm legit
What?
not trolling, dude. You
Like,
okay?
on
You
your
think
mom,
you can?
bro.
You cannot. You think you lose to like Hubert, bro? Like, to Maki? You think you lose to him?
Then
You
I
think you
don't know.
lose to like? Nah, dude. I'm just kidding.
In fiction, yeah.
I was just gonna give you champion, bro.
Yo, Daniel, debate me a
And
fictional
if anyone
topic.
like thinks like disagrees with that, they can just like you can just like tell them I
I just want him to debate me in a
so they can
fictional
debate
topic.
me.
Bro, I don't feel
also, do
right
you like
putting
the new
myself
template?
above like fucking D1 and
I kind of changed the
I
template
think-
since like niggas were like spamming NSFW and stuff, and I could not mute them, and the template was kind of like confusing for everyone. Do you think it's better now?
who?
The template of the shit, like the channels and stuff.
Oh yeah. it looks
The
more-
owners gave me permission. But yeah, how did you lose to Dead Boy? You're like way better than him.
Really? You think I'm better than Dead Boy?
You think you're not better than Dead Boy?
I think he's better at fiction.
Alright, he has a lot of knowledge of fiction, I guess, but he's not smart. Also, did you like?
I don't think he's
did you
definitely
like?
I don't know.
Did you like read the argument from somewhere or something? that you
No, I read out like not in a debate, but like I read like a little thing beforehand, but I didn't get to finish it. It's like 300 pages. I think I read like 20. That's what I was going on.
Yeah, I never read books, bro. Don't read books. Go read like Plato, Stanford articles and like wiki pages. No books, or just watch videos.
Yeah,
if you want to know
videos,
about,
I have a few books. Just I'm reading like the intro to like metaphysics. It's pretty simple. Like
you know what?
it's
Yeah,
not as
no, you
complex
don't
as
need that. If you want to learn the moral ontological argument, go watch like 10 videos, and you're gonna think like, oh, bro, I'm a god now. I can beat everyone. Like 10 videos, literally. Like Beeman, I don't know if you know Beeman. He's been reading books for like, bro, since the dawn of humanity. He's been reading like 500-page books, but he hasn't really helped him. He's still good, but like, yeah, he hasn't helped him.
Okay. Wait, did anyone put it in debate results?
Nah, doesn't matter. I'm not trying to get that
Wait,
video.
what happened to that channel?
I moved it up. 'Cause, like, wait, what? Oh, never mind. Let me move it up. I didn't move it up. Debate info.
Oh, is it called debate info now?
Is it
That's the
over?
category. I mean, but yeah, there's no